Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a Shortstop with a Shortstop. Today we're going to talk a little bit about rally hats. All the way from T-ball to Little League to all the way up to the big league. Sometimes when teams are in the late innings and they may be down a run or two, you may see one guy in the dugout turn his hat inside out. It's called a rally hat. Somebody may put their hat on backwards, or they may just turn it to the side, trying to get a little momentum, some spark into their club and show them that they're ready to root for them. And next thing you know, you may look up into the stands, and that one guy that had turned his hat inside out, the people in the stands have got the same thing. They've got their rally hats on. They're wanting to see something get done. And it's a good thing. Not all the time do the teams always come back and win, but sometimes it causes some momentum to help them to get something started, because it's kind of pumped them up a little bit, saying, hey, I need to really concentrate. I need to do what needs to be done here to get something started for our team and get on base and try to score some runs. And it's a fun thing also. Because I watch some of these guys in the big league. Sometimes you'll see a guy over there, they put 7, 8, 9, 10 hats on just one person's head, and they stack them up to the top, but they're having a good time doing it, and it kind of loosens the rest of the team up. But if we look in Matthew chapter 25, Jesus is talking to the sheep on one side, and he's talking to the goats on the other side. And in verse 35, he says, "For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat." Then he said, "I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. And I was a stranger, and you invited me in." Sometimes we as Christians need to put our rally hats on when we see somebody that's hungry. Have you ever been thirsty, just parched in your mouth, just as dry as it can be, and you get something to drink and it makes you feel so much better? And when we see people like that, we need to get our rally hats on and give them something to drink, give them something to eat. And if they are a stranger, those of us that are members of the church, when somebody new walks into our church building and they've never been there before, we need to welcome them as much as we possibly can with our rally hat. And Jesus goes on in verse 36, he says, "I was naked and you clothed me." Sometimes there's going to be some people out there that need clothing. And the church, Jesus is basically saying right here, you guys need to be the ones that clothe them. And he says, "I was sick and you visited me." Wow. How many members of your congregation or our congregation you know that are sick, that need a visit, or a phone call, or taking some food to them, just to put our rally hats on and show them how much we care about them? And in verse 40, those people ask, "Well, when were you hungry and we fed you? Or when were you thirsty and we gave you something to drink? Or when were you a stranger and we visited you?" And he said, "If you did it to the least one of my brothers, you have done it unto me." And he was telling them, those that have done that, you are welcome into the kingdom of God, or what he's saying is you're welcome into heaven. But what if we don't do that? In verse 41 it says, "And then he also said to them on the left, 'Depart from me, you accursed ones, into eternal fire, which has been prepared for the devil and his angels.' He said, 'For I was hungry and you fed me not. I was thirsty and you didn't feed me. I was a stranger and you didn't invite me in or make me feel welcome. I was in prison and you didn't come and visit me.'" And then he told those people to depart. They didn't put their rally hats on. If we look in 1 Samuel chapter 17, we see the story of David and Goliath. And Goliath kept coming out day after day, challenging the Israelite army to send one person over, and if they could beat him, they would become their slaves. But if he beat the Jewish person that came out, then the Jews would be their slaves, and nobody would go out. But David just happened to be by, coming to bring some food for his brothers. He said, I'll go out and fight him. And David went out. He put his rally hat on. And he went out with his sling and killed the giant and cut his head off. But what happened right after that? The whole Israelite army went on a charge. And what I'm saying is sometimes it only takes one person to lead a charge. And David put his rally hat on and led that charge. And we as New Testament Christians in the Church of Christ, we need to have our rally hats on every day. We need to try to be looking for those that need to be fed, that need to be given something to drink, to visit in the prisons, strangers that need some welcome hands or a welcome heart or a welcome hug, and show them that we love them, because that is what Jesus Christ is wanting us to do, is to put our rally hats on and lead a charge. Have you got your rally hat on? Let's have some fun and put them on and do what Jesus Christ wants us to do. Thank you again for being with a Shortstop with a Shortstop.